See here in 3, 2, 1. Looks like we are live and going. Hey there, everybody. Coach Mark here. So, what I'm going to be talking about today is my road to a 365 for 20 back squat. It's one of those things I've just decided that I like squatting for high reps. Well, I don't actually. No, that's not true at all. I don't like squatting in general. For high reps, it's particularly miserable. However, I've talked at length about the value of 20 rep squats for strongman athletes, conditioning, leg strength, just a really good all-around thing to train. And my best 20 rep squat set historically is a 315 for 20, which I did a couple years back. In the time since, I've managed to hit a few PRs here and there on variations, but I haven't really been very focused with my squat training, to be honest with you. And when I think back to that training cycle, chasing the 315 for 20, what I found is I actually got a lot of benefit from it in terms of work capacity, body composition, leg strength, right? It was just a really good training time. And with the year, we're at the tail end of the year now, I decided, hey, let's go ahead and add in an insane goal here, which is 365 for a set of 20 on the back squat. And that will be done with a barbell, not an SSB, just because this whole exercise is aura farming, right? I'm just trying to be cool. So I think 365 for 20 is just a really good number to chase down. So what I wanted to share was essentially my plan to get there, and also see if I couldn't build my 1RM in the process as well. Now, how that's going to work is you'll see here I have the 16 weeks lined out. Week 16 will be when I go for it, but I've got contingencies built in, and I'll kind of dive into that. So the week ahead is week 3, so I'll hit 405 for 1 or 2 reps and then rep out 315. And the idea with this program is every session starts with a heavy set of 1 or 2 reps at a linearly increasing weight. So in week 1, it was a set of 365 for just 1 to 2. Week 2, set at 385. Week 3, that's what I'm doing up ahead. It'll be 405 and then repping out 315 here. And the idea with this is I want to do what I can to retain my 1 rep max strength and also just be used to lifting heavy weights in and out of the rack. I find if I don't get high intensity touches fairly frequently on the squat, I experience really rapid skill decay with walking out those heavier loads. And something I have wanted to attain for a while is a 5-plate high bar squat. So I'm running a very basic linear progression here. This may not work, and that's fine. It's one of those things too where as I go through it, I might, walk out of it like, nope, never mind. But even just walking out that weight at that load above whatever it is I'm going for rep-wise that week is going to confer a lot of benefits, because then my rep-out sets are going to feel a lot lighter, right? It's something I've done before. People do heavy walkouts all the time. I know Josh Bryan has talked about them. You see people do them with bench press too, where they do a heavy unrack. So you can see the progression's pretty basic. It's a 4-week block. Weeks 1 through 3, we're just doing a linearly increasing load in terms of what the top set is going to be. And then the back off sets, how they work is in week 1, we're doing 2 volumizing sets at a slightly higher load, whereas in week 2, it's a single set, heavier, 12 to 15. And then week 3, we're just working, again, heavier, and we're targeting 15 to 18 reps in that week 3 set. Now, for example, this past week was the first week where I had that AMRAP set. And let me pull up the window here. Here we go. It was the 218 for 15 right there. And honestly, it moved really well. Let me see if I can get this overlay right. Yeah, cool. So you can see this moved nicely. I did not speed up this footage here. So I was able to get all 15 reps, and I count the time from when I descend on the first rep to being when I start the set, right, in roughly a minute. I definitely could have hit 20 here. I find if I can get to a set of 15, I can probably hit it for 20. When I do 20 rep squats, I break it down as 8, 5, 3, 2, 2. I find that's a really good way to make it more bearable, right? You knock out a set of 8, stand up, take a few deep breaths, knock out a set of 5, take a few deep breaths, 3, deep breaths, 2, deep breaths, 2, and then you're done, because that adds up to 20. So on this, I was able to go 12 plus 3, so that tells me already that I'm at a very good baseline. Obviously, I need to add 80 pounds and 5 reps to get to my goal, but you get the idea here. It's just going to be a really fun training cycle, I think, to chase down this weight. Let me pull back up the other window here. All right, cool. So then that's how that'll go. And then in week 4, what I'll do is I'll hit 365 for a set of 5 to 8 and then 2 sets of 5 at 335. And that pattern just repeats itself across the blocks. With week 8, the idea being I should be good for a set of 8 to 12 at that 365. And then by week 12, I want to get somewhere between 10 to 15 at 365. And at this point, I'm going to have a contingency built in. If I get to 365 and I'm at 15 and I still have something in the tank, I might just go for it and try to finish the story a little early and get that set of 20 at the 365. So this program is a block approach, and week 4 acts as a pseudo deload in terms of the intensity. And I like this approach for myself just because it is going to let me keep touching heavier weights. And I've found that when I'm chasing higher reps on the squat, a lot of my training in general just tends to work better because there's a bit more focus and I'm thinking holistically about my recovery from session to session. So it's nothing too, wild, nothing too special, but I do think this will be a really fun training program. So I'll be sure to let you folks know how that goes. Make sure to hit the shorts tab. That's where I'm going to be posting the weekly, big set with the squat, because I am going to kind of have this on as a weekly episodic thing. We're just going to call this squat aura farming, so squat AF, right? That's good. I was thinking about calling it something like the shape of the nightmare to come. Super intense, super hardcore, but I think we're going to pass on that. But anyways, folks, that's all I really got for you today. I just wanted to kind of yap a little bit about my big plans with the squat as I try to chase this down. Additionally, I'm still pushing for a 675 deadlift by end of year. And I have found that when I push my high bar squat, it actually does help my deadlift to some extent. I'm still running a block pull program right now. This week ahead, I'll actually be working for a heavy 8 on the block pull, aiming for 475 to 495. I'll probably wind up sharing what that block pull program is down the road. I want to make sure it's actually good first. So far, though, pretty darn promising. Looks like we had one viewer here, so whoever you are, thanks for joining me. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Hope you folks have a great rest of your Sunday. I'll see you in the next video. Also, make sure to hit my main videos tab. Just yesterday, I dropped Tacitus Bato, which is the 3 days a week full body conjugate program aimed at combat athletes. Well, that's all I got for you, folks. You take care now.